Alright, we're doing a little house tour today of all my air gun stuff. Maybe a little paintball and airsoft stuff in there too. The gauge is broken on my tank. It started leaking into the gauge face and causing a couple issues that we'll go over later. Here's all my airsoft, paintball, one Beeman GS 950 air gun in there. The rest is all paintball, other than the airsoft stuff. And if you're wondering what my channel name is, you're about to see it pretty much. That's almost a toxic matrix. It's the base model that just hasn't been done up really nice and kind of crazy looking with all the colors. Do not buy this. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't buy this air compressor. I need to do a video on this ASAP. It's good when it works. It was probably a complete ripoff. It's Chinesium to the extreme. But thank God Pyramid Air has a hell of a return policy. And then Air Venturi actually has a decent warranty as well. That was my alpha filter. I would not use this compressor without one. And here's my Reg Boy regulator that I use on my Texan when it's being tethered. You get to set whatever sweet spot you want on that thing. And that I just use to store the tank when it's getting filled so it stays in place. And then here's just the range now, aka my backyard. It's fun. And then this is how I record my shots here. I just use this little swing arm. It tucks away nice and easy, swings right out when I need it, and then goes back when I don't. Closet time. Going into the closet, not coming out of it. That is the gauge that needs to get fixed. You can see the glycerin there is pretty much all run out. Some 30 cal slugs and pellets. 308 pellets, or slugs rather. And then these I make for my CO2 cartridges on my resin printer. Some more 22 slugs. Just excess optics. Some 177. I got a ton more 22 slugs. Kratos magazines up to wazoo. All my little fill probes, magazines. And this is my wife's Deanna chaser, and then I have mine, same setup below it. And we got the Ruger 1022, the Ruger American, the Umrex Gauntlet 2 30 cal. Time to fill. All right, so once this line gets filled, that's when this gauge starts picking up the PSI reading. And once I have this gauge cranked up, it'll start leaking and it starts bubbling glycerin out the top. There was a cap over this, but I just took it off so you could see it. If the cap stayed on there, it would build up pressure, and it actually popped off like a cork, like champagne or something. I had to put a little, they call it a weep hole, so the pressure can release on its own, but it didn't even matter. That thing still kept flying off. And it wouldn't really be an issue, but I leave my cables, my airline, pre-charged because I have a fill trigger, so it's constantly under pressure. This thing was pissing out glycerin everywhere. And this is what I use to fill everything. It's pretty kick-ass. And here we go. Let's start filling up my Bandit. Now you 100% want to make sure that this quick disconnect is seated. If you hear that noise, then you're good to go. If you don't, it's the thing's gonna explode off your line when you hit probably 3,000 PSI. Don't do that. I've done it once. And I 100% recommend that fill trigger because a normal airline will overfill these short, tiny little cylinders really, really quick on those guns, especially the Bandit. It's a very small bottle in there. And here comes the biggest regret of my days. I don't have the cap on that bottle for the gauge, so I just pissed glycerin all over my little beanbag thing there. But if we're going to fill the gauntlet, this thing actually doesn't require a fill probe. You just go straight from the female Foster Connect to the male nipple. Ha! Nipple. And then this would just fill just like the Bandit.